Life can feel uncertain and obstacles may seem to block every path. Yet Allah's power is beyond measure. With a single word, be, He can instantly change everything. Challenges can transform into ease, worry can turn into peace, and what once seemed impossible can become reality. When your trust is fully in Him, even the smallest effort is multiplied, guidance appears unexpectedly, and blessings unfold in ways you could never imagine. His wisdom encompasses all things, His timing is perfect, and His mercy is limitless. True transformation happens in an instant by Allah's command. Allah's power is absolute and beyond human understanding. One word from Him, be, has the ability to alter the course of events instantly. This is not metaphorical, it is the reality of divine authority. The same one who created the heavens and the earth in a moment can change your life with a single command. The believer must recognize that no matter how long a difficulty lasts, Allah's word can transform it in an instant. What appears permanent to the human eye is temporary in the view of the Almighty. Trusting in His command is the first step to experiencing profound change. Every event in life is under the control of Allah. Nothing occurs outside His will. Even the smallest details are accounted for by His wisdom. When He says be, the invisible laws of the universe respond, and what seemed impossible becomes reality. This command teaches us patience. While we cannot control time or events, we can remain steadfast in our trust. Difficulties may persist, but the believer knows that change is possible the moment Allah wills. His timing is perfect and His wisdom is unmatched. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrated complete reliance on Allah in every situation. He trusted in the divine plan, even when circumstances seemed unfavorable. This example reminds us that true power lies in submission and faith, not in human effort alone. Allah's word is not limited by conditions. It does not depend on circumstances, wealth, or connections. The single command of be is sufficient to create outcomes that surpass human imagination. This is a source of hope for those who feel powerless. Many people give up because they see only the obstacles. The believer, however, sees possibilities in Allah's will. The command be is a reminder that ultimate change does not rely on human ability, but on divine decree. Hope should never fade when Allah is in control. Life often presents challenges that seem insurmountable. Illness, financial struggles, or relational difficulties can weigh heavily on the heart. Yet the same one who governs the universe can remove these burdens with a single word. Faith turns despair into optimism. This command also teaches humility. Human beings may plan and strategize endlessly, but the outcome is always in Allah's hands. Recognizing this truth frees the heart from anxiety and places reliance where it truly belongs. Allah's command is instantaneous, but it is also precise. He knows the right time, the right way, and the best manner in which a change should occur. This reminds believers that patience is not passive waiting, but active trust in divine wisdom. When a believer invokes Allah sincerely, asking for guidance and help, they align themselves with this divine power. Supplication becomes a tool to invite change, and dhikr strengthens the connection with the one who can say be to any matter. The power of Allah's command also extends to our hearts. A person weighed down by grief, anger, or fear can find peace through reliance on Him. The command transforms not only external circumstances, but internal states, bringing tranquility to the believer. The command teaches that miracles are not rare. They are natural manifestations of divine will. What we consider extraordinary is ordinary in the realm of Allah's power. Understanding this encourages believers to remain steadfast and patient. Trusting in Allah's command fosters resilience. When setbacks occur, the believer does not despair, but relies on the knowledge that change is always possible by divine will. This transforms the attitude toward trials, making them opportunities for growth. The command also emphasizes the importance of intention. When actions are undertaken with sincerity and submission to Allah, even small deeds are multiplied in reward. This aligns human effort with divine power. increasing the likelihood of blessings and positive outcomes. Understanding the command be cultivates hope. No matter how bleak a situation appears, believers know that the Almighty's intervention can occur at any moment. This hope is not wishful thinking, but a profound certainty rooted in faith. It reminds believers to remain humble and grateful, recognizing that all change originates from Allah, encourages acknowledgement of His blessings and mercy. Gratitude for His guidance nurtures a heart that is receptive to His will. The command also inspires action. While Allah's word is sufficient to bring about change, believers are encouraged to strive within their capacity. Effort combined with reliance on Him produces outcomes that are aligned with divine wisdom. Reflection on this command strengthens spiritual insight. Believers learn that true power is not in human strength or intellect, but in alignment with Allah's will. This realization fosters submission, trust, and reliance, which are essential for inner peace. The command be is a reminder of Allah's closeness. He is aware of every need, every difficulty, and every desire. When He wills, transformation occurs instantly. Believers are thus called to trust fully, remain patient, and carry hope in their hearts, knowing that His word is sufficient to change everything. Often we create schedules, set deadlines, and plan our lives meticulously, believing we can control outcomes. Yet Allah's wisdom surpasses human foresight. Every event unfolds according to His perfect timing, not ours. Understanding this truth brings peace to the heart, knowing that delay does not mean denial. Human plans are limited by knowledge, perspective, and circumstance. We see only fragments of life, while Allah sees the entirety of time, cause, and consequence. Divine timing ensures that every event occurs at the moment that is best for our growth and benefit, even if it differs from our expectations. Many become frustrated when outcomes do not align with their plans. They may rush, force, or manipulate situations unaware that Allah's timing is always precise. What appears as delay may actually be preparation, refinement, or protection from unseen harm. The believer understands that waiting is not wasted time. Patience is a form of worship, and trust in divine timing transforms delay into an opportunity for spiritual growth. The heart becomes stronger, the mind clearer, and the soul more resilient while awaiting Allah's perfect moment. Allah's timing is never early, never late, but always perfect. He knows when a situation is ripe for change, when a decision should be made, and when blessings should arrive. This wisdom surpasses human judgment, which is often clouded by impatience or emotion. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified trust in divine timing. Every major event in his life occurred precisely when Allah willed it. This teaches us that reliance on Him does not negate effort, but ensures that outcomes align with wisdom beyond human comprehension. Many people experience frustration in relationships, careers, or personal goals because they attempt to force timing. Divine timing, however, orchestrates everything with precision. When we align our efforts with Allah's schedule, success becomes effortless, obstacles diminish, and blessings arrive unexpectedly. Life is a sequence of events, some visible and some hidden. We may not perceive the interconnectedness of circumstances, but Allah knows how every detail interacts to bring about the best result. Waiting patiently allows these intricate plans to unfold harmoniously. Trusting divine timing requires surrender. We release the illusion of control and acknowledge that our plans are subordinate to Allah's wisdom. This surrender is liberating, for it removes anxiety, fear, and despair, replacing them with faith, hope, and contentment. Divine timing also teaches humility. We recognize that despite effort, knowledge, and resources, outcomes are ultimately determined by Allah. This awareness strengthens reliance on Him and prevents arrogance, reminding believers that true success is a gift from Allah alone. Delays in life often serve multiple purposes. They may prepare us for responsibility, cultivate gratitude, or protect us from unseen harm. What feels like a setback today may be a blessing tomorrow. Divine timing ensures that everything occurs for our ultimate benefit. The believer who trusts in Allah's timing is not passive. Effort and planning are encouraged, but they are combined with prayer, reliance, and patience. This balance ensures that human endeavor aligns with divine wisdom, producing results that are both effective and blessed. Divine timing is also evident in moments of personal growth. Challenges may persist until the soul is ready to handle success or responsibility. Allah's schedule considers not only external circumstances, but the readiness of the heart and mind. Many are tempted to compare their timing with others. They may feel that Allah is delaying blessings while others succeed, yet His timing is perfect for each individual. Comparing ourselves to others overlooks the unseen factors that shape outcomes according to divine wisdom. Trust in divine timing brings peace during uncertainty. Even when outcomes are delayed, the believer remains calm, knowing that Allah has the best plan. Worrying or forcing results is unnecessary when the one in control has infinite knowledge and mercy. Prayer and supplication are powerful tools for aligning ourselves with Allah's timing. When we ask for guidance, patience, and clarity, we participate in the unfolding of His perfect plan. Our efforts, combined with reliance on Him, ensure that blessings arrive at the right moment. Divine timing also cultivates gratitude. When blessings finally arrive, they are appreciated more deeply because of the wait. The believer understands that patience enhances both the reward and the joy of achievement. The command of Allah can arrive unexpectedly, turning waiting into triumph. Opportunities may appear suddenly, obstacles may vanish, and answers may come in ways we could not predict. Divine timing reminds us that what we expect is often less significant than what Allah has prepared. Understanding divine timing strengthens faith. Believers learn to release control, trust in outcomes, and embrace the wisdom of delays. Each pause, each moment of waiting is an opportunity to grow spiritually and align more closely with Allah's will. Divine timing teaches that life is orchestrated by Allah's perfect wisdom. By trusting in Him, practicing patience, and remaining steadfast, believers experience ease, guidance, and blessings at precisely the right moment. Human plans may falter, but Allah's timing is flawless and sufficient for every need. Trust in Allah is the key that opens doors human effort cannot. When the believer surrenders to Him, even the most difficult challenges become manageable. What seems impossible to the mind and heart is made easy through reliance on divine wisdom. Allah tests our trust through obstacles, delays, and hardships. These trials are not punishments but opportunities to strengthen faith. When the believer maintains trust in these moments, they discover that divine support can transform the impossible into reality. Human beings often rely solely on planning and strategy. While effort is necessary, without trust in Allah, success may be limited. Trust amplifies effort, multiplies outcomes, and ensures that our actions align with a wisdom greater than our own. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified complete trust in Allah. In situations that seemed insurmountable, he relied on divine guidance. His life teaches believers that trusting Allah is not passive, but a powerful force that unlocks hidden potential. True trust does not ignore reality. It acknowledges obstacles while relying on Allah's power. The believer does not despair when faced with difficulty, but moves forward with hope, knowing that divine intervention can make all things possible. The impossible becomes attainable when the heart and mind submit to Allah's will. Trust allows a person to act boldly without fear, knowing that outcomes are guided by infinite wisdom. This confidence produces results beyond ordinary expectation. Many situations appear hopeless because humans focus only on what they can see. Trust in Allah shifts perspective, revealing paths that were hidden. Opportunities emerge, solutions appear, and barriers dissolve as a result of sincere reliance on Him. Trust is not passive waiting, it is active reliance. The believer takes steps, makes choices, and exerts effort, but the outcome is entrusted entirely to Allah. This balance ensures that human actions and divine power work in harmony. When the believer trusts Allah, fear diminishes. Anxiety about failure, loss, or uncertainty loses its grip. Trust transforms the heart, creating courage and resilience that carry the believer through challenges that seemed impossible to overcome. Divine support often arrives in unexpected ways. Resources, guidance, or help may appear suddenly, revealing that Allah's plan was at work all along. Trust opens the heart to recognize and accept these blessings, even when they arrive differently than imagined. Trust also nurtures patience. When outcomes are delayed, the believer remains steadfast, knowing that Allah's timing is perfect. What may appear as inactivity is actually preparation, and the impossible is being readied for realization. When faced with overwhelming obstacles, believers should remember that Allah's knowledge encompasses all things. Trust allows them to surrender the burden of control, creating space for divine solutions to manifest in ways humans could not predict. Trust unlocks not only external success but internal peace. The believer finds calm in the midst of trials, clarity in confusion, and hope in despair. This inner transformation is a sign that the impossible is being unlocked by divine guidance. Many fail to see the power of trust because they rely solely on themselves. Sincere reliance on Allah expands perspective, revealing that what is impossible to the mind is effortless to the Creator. Trust amplifies capability beyond human limits. Trust encourages consistent effort. The believer works diligently, knowing that each step is guided and multiplied by Allah. Even small actions, when combined with trust, can produce extraordinary outcomes. Through trust, believers develop resilience. Setbacks no longer shatter hope. They become lessons and stepping stones. Obstacles are transformed into opportunities when the heart relies fully on Allah's power and mercy. Trust deepens the connection with Allah. The believer experiences guidance, clarity, and inspiration, as if the divine hand is leading them through challenges. What seemed impossible becomes a journey of growth, blessing, and realization. Trust also inspires gratitude. When outcomes manifest, the believer recognizes that success was not due to human effort alone, but to divine intervention. This awareness strengthens faith and encourages reliance on Allah in all matters. The impossible is often unlocked in moments of sincere supplication and reliance. When the believer calls upon Allah with a heart full of trust, barriers crumble, solutions appear, and paths open that were once unimaginable. Trust is the bridge between limitation and divine possibility. By placing complete confidence in Allah, remaining patient, and acting with intention, believers witness transformations that surpass human expectation. Nothing is impossible when Allah wills, and trust is the key that unlocks this truth. Every believer faces trials in life. Challenges may come in the form of loss, hardship, or uncertainty, yet these trials are not meaningless. They are opportunities designed by Allah to strengthen the soul and elevate character. Understanding this is the first step toward triumph. The believer recognizes that hardship is temporary, but divine wisdom is eternal. Trials are tools to cultivate patience, resilience, and reliance on Allah. What feels heavy today can become the foundation of a greater blessing tomorrow, by Allah's will. Often human perspective sees only struggle, forgetting the unseen benefits. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, shapes every difficulty to bring about lessons, growth, and guidance. Triumph emerges not despite trials, but because of them. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, endured numerous challenges in his life, yet he remained steadfast, patient, and trusting in Allah. His example reminds believers that success is intertwined with endurance and reliance on divine support. Trials refine the heart. When faced with adversity, Believers are invited to seek guidance, remain patient and trust in Allah's timing. This process strengthens faith and prepares the soul for blessings that would be impossible without the test. Triumph is not always immediate. Sometimes trials stretch over time to ensure that the believer is ready to handle the outcome wisely. Patience during this period is crucial, for it aligns human effort with divine wisdom. Many despair when faced with setbacks, believing that hardship signals failure. The believer understands that each challenge is purposeful. Through trust, effort, and prayer, Allah can transform these trials into the very instruments of success. The unseen world plays a role in every trial. Angels record actions, intentions, and patience. Allah multiplies reward for endurance, meaning that triumph is not only about worldly success, but also spiritual elevation and closeness to Him. Sometimes trials remove what is harmful or unfit in our lives. Challenges may close doors, redirect paths, or teach reliance on Allah alone. What appears as loss is often divine protection, and triumph lies in recognizing this hidden mercy. Believers who embrace trials with faith develop courage. Fear of hardship diminishes and the heart becomes resilient. Understanding that Allah is in control allows one to face difficulty with confidence, knowing that ultimate success rests in His hands. Divine guidance turns trials into stepping stones. Each obstacle becomes an opportunity to act with integrity, patience, and perseverance. The believer learns that triumph is not simply achieving goals, but growing through adversity under Allah's will. Gratitude amplifies triumph. When believers acknowledge the lessons embedded in challenges, they experience deeper satisfaction in achievements. Recognition of Allah's role ensures that success is accompanied by humility and continued reliance. Trials often strengthen empathy and compassion. Believers who face adversity understand the struggles of others and become a source of support and encouragement. Triumph is not only personal, but extends to helping others through their hardships. Prayer and supplication during trials invite divine assistance. Trusting Allah and asking for guidance opens pathways that may not have been visible before. What once seemed impossible becomes attainable through divine facilitation. The believer's perspective is transformed through trials. Patience, trust, and reflection allow the heart to see blessings hidden within hardship. Triumph is as much internal as it is external. It is the growth of the soul in alignment with Allah's wisdom. Success is sweeter after struggle. Triumph feels meaningful because it follows endurance, reliance on Allah, and the refinement of character. Allah turns patience into power, weakness into strength, and hardship into reward. Every setback has a divine purpose. Allah's wisdom orchestrates events in a way that humans may not immediately understand. Recognizing that trials carry intention transforms frustration into hope and strengthens faith in His plan. Triumph emerges when believers act with sincerity. Effort combined with reliance on Allah ensures that outcomes are aligned with divine wisdom. What appears as human perseverance is ultimately guided and multiplied by Allah's will. The believer learns that life is a balance of trials and triumphs. Each challenge is followed by relief. Each hardship is accompanied by ease, and every test has a lesson embedded in it. Trust ensures that these cycles are received with gratitude and patience. Trials are not obstacles to success, but instruments of divine shaping. When believers surrender to Allah, remain patient, and act with sincerity, challenges transform into victories. Triumph is the natural outcome of trusting Allah, persevering through tests, and relying on His perfect wisdom. Patience is one of the greatest virtues a believer can cultivate. It allows the heart to endure hardship, the mind to stay focused, and the soul to remain connected to Allah. Through patience, unseen blessings are often revealed in ways we could never anticipate. Challenges in life are inevitable, yet patience transforms them into opportunities. It is not merely waiting, but maintaining faith and composure while trusting in Allah's wisdom. The believer who remains steadfast discovers blessings hidden within the trial. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified extraordinary patience throughout his life. Every trial, every hardship he faced was met with resilience and reliance on Allah. His life serves as a timeless guide for believers seeking the hidden rewards in patience. Patience strengthens character. It nurtures humility, self-control, and resilience. The believer learns to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. In this way, challenges become a tool for personal and spiritual growth. Often, the greatest blessings are delayed. What seems like a test or a setback is, in reality, preparation for a greater gift. Patience allows the believer to navigate these periods with hope, faith, and perseverance. Human understanding is limited. We may not see the reason behind hardship, but Allah sees the complete picture. Patience bridges the gap between human perception and divine wisdom, allowing believers to accept what they cannot yet comprehend. Through patience, the believer learns to rely on Allah's timing. Every event unfolds when it is meant to, and every difficulty serves a purpose. This trust turns anxiety into calmness and despair into hope. Patience brings inner peace. When the heart surrenders to Allah's will, it is no longer burdened by the pressure of immediate results. Relief comes not from changing circumstances, but from trusting the one who controls them. Trials often teach lessons that blessings alone cannot. The believer who exercises patience discovers empathy, gratitude, and strength. Each test becomes a stepping stone towards spiritual maturity and divine favor. Patience is closely linked to prayer and supplication. By seeking guidance and help from Allah, the believer aligns their heart with divine wisdom. This connection allows patience to bear fruit in both the heart and the circumstances around them. The hidden blessing in patience is revealed when obstacles turn into opportunities. Delays, hardships, and trials often precede moments of profound growth, success, or reward. The believer learns that endurance is a pathway to unseen benefits. Patience cultivates gratitude. By enduring difficulty and recognizing the lessons embedded within, the believer appreciates blessings more deeply when they arrive. This awareness strengthens faith and fosters a heart that remains thankful in every situation. Patience also fosters resilience. Life is filled with challenges that test faith, focus, and commitment. By practicing patience, believers build inner strength that allows them to face adversity without losing hope or direction. Every test has a purpose, even if it is not immediately clear. Patience allows the believer to trust in Allah's plan, knowing that each difficulty is a step toward a greater outcome. What is hidden today may become a blessing tomorrow. Patience teaches contentment. The believer learns to accept circumstances with grace, finding peace in the present moment while trusting Allah to provide what is best. This contentment becomes a source of comfort and stability. Through patience, the believer discovers that hardship is temporary and mercy is eternal. Challenges do not define the journey, but the way one responds to them does. Endurance transforms struggles into triumphs over time. Patience also strengthens relationships. A calm and composed heart navigates conflicts, misunderstandings, and challenges with wisdom and empathy. The believer becomes a source of support and stability for others. The reward of patience is not always visible immediately. Some blessings are spiritual, preparing the heart for future success, peace, and closeness to Allah. These hidden treasures are often greater than what is sought in the moment. Patience aligns human effort with divine will. When believers act with diligence while maintaining trust, Allah's power completes and multiplies their efforts. The outcome is often far beyond what could have been achieved through effort alone. The hidden blessing in patience is a transformation of the soul. The believer emerges stronger, wiser, and closer to Allah. By embracing patience in every situation, one discovers that every trial, delay, and challenge carries a hidden gift waiting to be revealed by His mercy. faith is a force beyond human comprehension. It gives strength when all seems lost, courage when fear arises, and hope when despair lingers. A believer's faith rooted in trust in Allah has the power to transform challenges into victories and impossibilities into realities. Mountains symbolize the obstacles of life. They may appear immovable, overwhelming, and insurmountable. Yet faith, when sincere and unwavering, can move these mountains, making what once seemed impossible achievable through Allah's guidance and mercy. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrated faith in every circumstance. His reliance on Allah, even in the face of extreme adversity, provides a timeless example. True faith does not depend on ease, but thrives in the midst of trials and difficulty. Faith strengthens the heart. It anchors the believer amidst storms of uncertainty, fear, and pressure. When faith is rooted deeply, it transforms anxiety into patience, weakness into resilience, and obstacles into stepping stones towards success. Mountains in life are often tests of endurance, character, and reliance on Allah. A believer who approaches these challenges with firm faith discovers that obstacles are not permanent barriers, but opportunities for growth and divine blessing. Faith moves mountains through perseverance. Each step taken in reliance on Allah, each prayer offered with sincerity, and each act of patience accumulates strength that eventually overcomes challenges that seem immovable. The unseen power of faith is revealed when human capability is exhausted. When solutions seem impossible, resources insufficient, or paths blocked, faith opens doors that were hidden and reveals ways that were previously unseen. Faith is not passive. It is an active trust in Allah that motivates effort, perseverance, and prayer. Mountains do not move without action, yet action guided by faith aligns with divine support to produce extraordinary outcomes. Challenges often appear larger than they truly are because human perspective is limited. Faith expands the vision of the believer, allowing them to see beyond immediate difficulty and recognize that with Allah no obstacle is insurmountable. Faith inspires hope in times of despair. It is the light that guides the believer when darkness surrounds them. Even when circumstances seem immovable, faith instills certainty that Allah can and will change the situation. Mountains may take the form of fear, doubt, or worry. Faith transforms the mind and heart, replacing these burdens with courage, clarity, and peace. The believer becomes empowered not by their own strength alone, but by reliance on Allah's power. Faith is strengthened through reflection and remembrance of Allah. By recalling past blessings, answered prayers, and divine mercy, the believer gains assurance that current obstacles are temporary and surmountable through trust in Him. Faith moves mountains by transforming perspective. What once seemed like insurmountable difficulty is seen as an opportunity for growth, purification, and reliance on Allah. Every challenge becomes a platform for spiritual and personal development. Mountains of fear can fall when the believer places their trust fully in Allah. Each act of prayer, patience, and reliance weakens the grip of doubt and strengthens the certainty that Allah's power can accomplish all things. Faith empowers action even when the path is unclear. The believer steps forward with confidence, knowing that guidance, support, and facilitation come from Allah. With this mindset, obstacles are met with determination rather than hesitation. Faith that moves mountains is nurtured by consistency in worship, supplication, and reflection. The heart that constantly seeks Allah's guidance becomes resilient, unshakable, and ready to face challenges that once seemed impossible. Mountains are also tests of humility. Faith reminds the believer that it is not their strength alone that moves obstacles, but Allah's support. This recognition cultivates reliance, gratitude, and sincere devotion in every circumstance. Faith transforms waiting into preparation. Even when mountains seem immovable, the believer learns that patience, prayer, and perseverance are tools through which Allah brings about change at the perfect moment. Mountains of hardship often conceal blessings. Faith enables the believer to recognize these hidden opportunities. Trials, when met with trust and reliance, can become catalysts for personal growth, spiritual elevation, and unforeseen success. Faith moves mountains because it aligns human effort with divine power. When the believer acts with sincerity, perseverance, and trust, even the greatest obstacles are overcome. Through unwavering faith, reliance on Allah, and patience, nothing is impossible, and every mountain can be moved. Allah's word carries a power that surpasses human understanding. With a single command, be, He can transform reality instantly. What appears permanent or impossible to humans changes immediately by His divine will. The believer must grasp that this transformation is not limited to physical events alone. Hearts, circumstances, and destinies can be altered with a single word from Allah. Faith in this power brings hope and confidence even in the darkest moments. Life often seems unchangeable. Challenges, obstacles, and difficulties may weigh heavily, yet a single word from Allah can redirect paths, remove burdens, and replace despair with ease. The believer remains steadfast in trust and anticipation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, relied on Allah's command throughout his life. Every challenge he faced, from battles to social trials, was met with reliance on Allah's word. His example teaches that divine authority surpasses all human limitations. The instant transformation of a word demonstrates that Allah is not bound by time, effort, or circumstance. What seems delayed, blocked, or impossible in the human view occurs immediately when Allah wills. This reality inspires deep reliance and faith. Believers often face situations where every effort seems insufficient. In these moments, prayer and trust become pivotal. The divine word can shift outcomes in ways beyond comprehension, making the impossible attainable in a single instant. Transformation is not always visible at first. Sometimes the effects of Allah's word unfold gradually, yet they are instantaneous in their initiation. What begins as a moment of divine command can ripple through life, altering realities and hearts. The believer is encouraged to call upon Allah sincerely, recognizing that His word holds ultimate power. Through supplication, reliance, and patience, hearts align with His will, enabling divine transformation to manifest in ways humans could not engineer. Challenges are often tests of trust in Allah's word. When events appear static or problems persist, faith assures the believer that change is always possible by divine decree. Patience and perseverance are vital as the transformation unfolds. The unseen power of a word also transforms the heart. Anxiety, fear, and doubt can be replaced with peace, courage, and certainty. Even internal states are subject to Allah's command, demonstrating His comprehensive authority over creation. Life's difficulties often conceal hidden blessings. Allah's word can remove obstacles, open doors, and provide solutions in a moment. Believers are reminded that reliance on Him brings results far beyond human expectation. Trust in Allah's command cultivates hope. When every effort seems to fail, the believer remembers that His word can instantly bring relief. This assurance encourages persistence, patience, and unwavering faith even in overwhelming circumstances. The instant transformation of a word also teaches humility. Humans may plan, struggle, and labor endlessly, yet true change comes only by Allah's will. Recognizing this strengthens reliance and diminishes arrogance, grounding the believer in faith. Faith in Allah's command encourages active engagement in life. Believers take steps, make decisions, and strive diligently while entrusting outcomes to Him. This combination of effort and reliance ensures that transformation occurs in alignment with divine wisdom. Often, blessings arrive in unexpected ways. The believer learns that Allah's word may operate through unseen means, guiding circumstances toward the best possible outcome. This reinforces trust and patience in every situation. The instant nature of Allah's command is a reminder that nothing is permanent except His will. Situations that seem fixed can change, and obstacles that appear immovable can vanish. This truth inspires courage and steadfastness in trials. Divine transformation extends beyond worldly matters. Hearts, minds, and relationships are all subject to Allah's will. What seems beyond repair, lost or broken, can be renewed instantly by His command, bringing hope and guidance. Believers are encouraged to remember past instances where Allah's word brought change. Reflecting on answered prayers and divine interventions strengthens faith, reminding the heart that transformation is always possible when He wills. The instant power of a word emphasizes the mercy of Allah. What may appear hopeless is often an opportunity for His grace to manifest. Trusting Him ensures that believers remain patient, hopeful, and connected to His guidance. The instant transformation of a word teaches that human limitation is not the boundary of possibility. Through sincere faith, reliance, and trust in Allah, hearts, circumstances, and destinies can change instantly. Nothing is beyond His command, and every believer can find hope in this divine power. Hope is the light that guides the believer through darkness, while certainty anchors the heart in faith. Together they form a foundation for a life aligned with Allah's wisdom, helping the believer navigate trials with resilience and trust. Life often presents uncertainty and challenges that may shake human confidence. Yet a heart grounded in Allah's promise remains steady. Hope keeps the believer moving forward, and certainty assures them that outcomes rest in divine hands. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified living with hope and certainty. In every trial, his trust in Allah provided clarity, strength, and patience, teaching believers that faith must be unwavering regardless of circumstance. Hope encourages the believer to persevere. Even when situations appear bleak, it instills the confidence that Allah's mercy and guidance are near. Certainty reinforces this trust, assuring the heart that divine wisdom governs all outcomes. Human effort combined with hope becomes purposeful. The believer acts diligently while trusting Allah, knowing that actions aligned with faith are amplified by divine support. This balance transforms ordinary endeavors into pathways of blessing. Living with hope also requires patience. Outcomes may not align with immediate desires, yet the believer remains confident that Allah's timing is perfect. Certainty in His wisdom allows the heart to endure delays without despair. Hope nurtures positivity in adversity. When obstacles arise, it prevents despair from taking root. Coupled with certainty, it empowers the believer to maintain faith that Allah's plan is unfolding even when unseen. Certainty strengthens the soul against doubt. Life may challenge the heart with questions of fairness, loss, or delay, but unwavering trust in Allah's knowledge and power reassures the believer that nothing occurs outside His will. Hope inspires action without anxiety. The believer moves forward with diligence and sincerity, confident that effort combined with divine reliance leads to the best outcome. This trust removes fear of failure or loss. Certainty is reinforced through remembrance and reflection. By recalling past blessings, answered prayers, and instances of divine intervention, the believer strengthens trust, cultivating a heart resilient to the uncertainties of life. Living with hope and certainty transforms challenges into opportunities. The believer sees obstacles not as punishments but as tests and lessons, each carrying hidden blessings designed to refine faith and character. Hope sustains the believer in waiting. Even prolonged trials are met with patience when the heart trusts in Allah's wisdom. Certainty ensures that every moment of waiting carries divine purpose, preparing the soul for eventual success. Faith infused with hope illuminates the heart. Fear, doubt, and despair lose power, replaced by courage, contentment, and confidence. The believer moves through life anchored in trust and guided by divine wisdom. Hope encourages gratitude even before outcomes are clear. Believers learn to trust that Allah will provide what is best, fostering a mindset of appreciation and resilience. Certainty reinforces this perspective, nurturing unwavering reliance. Living with hope and certainty allows the believer to navigate setbacks gracefully. Failures are temporary and blessings are assured in due time. This mindset transforms obstacles into instruments of growth and preparation. Certainty removes the burden of excessive worry. The believer recognizes that Allah's wisdom governs all things, relieving anxiety about control or outcomes. Hope motivates effort, while certainty ensures peace of mind. Hope inspires consistency in worship, prayer, and good deeds. Even when results are unseen, the believer remains steadfast, confident that Allah's reward and guidance are constant, producing blessings both visible and hidden. Living with certainty fosters humility. The believer acknowledges that human understanding is limited and that ultimate success, relief, and guidance come from Allah alone. This perspective nurtures gratitude, patience, and faith. Hope and certainty combined cultivate resilience. Challenges that once felt overwhelming are approached with confidence and persistence. The believer learns that every situation, no matter how daunting, is within Allah's control. Living with hope and certainty is a manifestation of complete trust in Allah. The believer moves through life with patience, gratitude, and purpose, knowing that His guidance is perfect, His timing is flawless, and His blessings are assured for those who rely on Him. As you reflect on the power of Allah's command, remember that nothing is beyond His reach. What may feel impossible today can become effortless tomorrow. Trust in His wisdom, embrace His timing, and place your heart fully in His care. Every difficulty carries a lesson, every delay contains mercy, and every test is a pathway to growth. Keep your faith strong, your intentions sincere, and your reliance on Him unwavering. When Allah wills, doors open, hearts are healed, and life transforms in ways only He can orchestrate. Walk forward with hope, patience, and certainty, knowing that His be can change everything at any moment.